And at 30 days, I'm used to seeing they feel better, they sleep better. Their spouse says, or their partner says, wow, your sexual function, what?
What about like when you exercise and fast?
So I'm not a big proponent of when you need to exercise. So, and here's the data that I think we've talked about in the past from our clinic. It's not about how many minutes you spend. It's about how fit you are. And your aerobic fitness has a huge impact on many aspects of your health, your blood sugar control, your brain, your heart function. But strength training does too. So we need both. We need muscle mass and we need aerobic capacity. And they are each independently very strong predictors of not having heart disease, not having memory loss, not having diabetes. And so high intensity workout several days a week, some strength training a couple days a week. I love to throw in yoga a couple days a week. That to me is like an ideal. So what time of day you want to work out? My preference is to do it first thing in the morning. But I've realized over time, it's less important what time than you actually do it. So if there's a time that works for you, seize it, please. Seize that time and do it regularly and make it part of your schedule. That to me is the most important thing. And, get up a sweat, get huffing and puffing, and you feel so much better for doing that. It's amazing.
And when should you eat after? Does it matter, like eating before, eating after in your experience?
I think people are individually different. This is not where I'm not a believer in that we all respond to food. So, there were years that went by where I always wanted to have like a shake before my workout. And I thought I felt better. But, once I got used to partial intermittent fasting and I got in a routine, I can't tell the difference. So, but when I talk to my patients, I realize some of them clearly need to eat something before if they're going to do an intense workout. If they don't eat something, they don't have the energy for the workout. So by all means, they should have like a green protein shake before their exercise session. But if you don't, some people literally say, I feel so much better if I eat after I've worked out. From a muscle mass perspective, you do want to add some protein on the days you do strength training. So if you really push your muscles a couple days a week, you'll help build more muscle mass. If you get a boost and put some protein powder in your drink within 30 minutes of that. And it's better in a liquid form because you better absorb than sometimes solid protein. But you could even eat, chicken or fish or, some other source of vegan protein would be fine as well. But we do need protein after strength training session. That's the one that's really timing to fit important to me. That everybody after a strength training session is going to have a benefit to have some protein after that strength training session. Before your aerobic session, what makes you feel better? What enhances your performance? That's what I would recommend they go.
Yes. And I'm with you on that. I'm going to just repeat what you said. It's not how much you exercise, it's how fit you are. You guys, yes. That is a message to live by. It's not how much you exercise, it's how fit you are. And I think that's a really crucial statement because we want that cardiovascular fitness all the way around. And I appreciate that. Well, Mighty Maca Plus is a superfood combination of powerful ingredients that really help give you energy, stamina, and not only that, it tastes good. So many people report reducing hot flashes, increased energy, better workouts. We have Olympic athletes as well as, young adults, sport teams who are committed to drinking Mighty Maca. Let me tell you, this has been the one supplement that I recommend for my patients over 90% of the time. I give you 100% money back guarantee, and it is just fabulous. So check it out at dranna.com and use the code SHOW10 to get 10% off your first order. Dr. Masley, will you give us some examples, a patient example in your clinic that came in and followed your 30-day heart tune-up and what happened? Now, I did see, I personally, I have seen before and afters in Dr. Masley's clinics of patients and ultrasounding for the carotid intimal medial thickness and seeing that improve over time, heart without drugs or medication, seeing this heart disease reduce. And that's how much power we have over our body. So I would love for you to give a great case example.
A typical might be, a woman who comes in, she's tired, she's got brain fog, her waistline's expanding, and she's trying to work out. She's trying to exercise. Too often they might be on a low-fat diet or something like that. And they're eating all these whole grain products for their fiber intake. And their blood sugars might be just mildly elevated or at the top of normal. And their quality of life their weight's going up, their blood sugar's creeping up, their waistline's expanding. The biggest symptoms are fatigue, brain fog, drop in sexual libido, and they want their life back. So I think the key is right food, meet your nutrient needs, the right workout, some stress management. And typically the reason I say this 30-day heart tune-up is because I usually follow people up at 30 days. And at 30 days, I'm used to seeing they feel better, they sleep better. Their spouse says, or their partner says, wow, your sexual function, what happened? I like it. And I'm stopping some of their medications at the 30-day mark. I'm like, okay, your cholesterol's dropped quite a bit. You don't need this cholesterol med. You don't need this blood sugar med. You don't need the blood pressure med. And they feel better as we wean that off. So 30 days to me is really a nice time frame to see a dramatic difference in people's life when they follow those pillars.
Can you go over those 5 key things again?
Food, nutrients, fitness, stress management. Those are really the four keys right there. I mean, there's toxin exposures as well we could get into. I think that much more important for your brain, maybe your blood sugar control, for your hormones, but for your heart, I think it's those 4 key ones.
I think we're convinced our audience. They're like, okay, I'm paying more attention. I'm gonna follow this more, to giving up sugar. And I'm gonna ask you like three final questions. Is if there was only one meal you could eat, this was like not necessarily your last meal, but this is the one meal, like you want this meal, what would that be?
That's a hard one for me. I eat something different. I mean, I don't have the same meal maybe in a month.
What's your favorite?
I have 50 favorites.
Oh, give me one, Stephen.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Chiopino would be an example, so a seafood stew with some veggies and a wonderful broth and with this lovely tossed green leafy salad. So that would be an example, or a stir, it might be, wild salmon with a stir fry of veggies that are steamed and put in some lemon and olive oil and a little salt and garlic and on the side. So a smoothie, I like smoothies during the day with berries.
Okay, but that would not be your last meal, Stephen. I know I love smoothies too. I'm big on keto green smoothies. That would not be my last meal.
Dark chocolate, dark chocolate with nuts and berries.
Oh, there would be dark chocolate with my meal too. Okay, thank you. And I know it's hard for you because your Mediterranean diet book, your books, amazing recipes.
I mean, you got Spanish and Italian and French and Greek and Turkish and Egyptian and Lebanese and Moroccan and Cyprus and Sicily and Crete, and every one of those places has a meal to die for.
Yes, absolutely. I'm with you. Okay, so your second thing, what would be your guilty pleasure? You don't have to feel guilty over it. What's your guilty pleasure? You're like, oh, my guilty pleasure.
Well, it's probably chocolate, dark chocolate to excess, or, you know, red wine is good for me in moderation, but it'd be having more than one glass of red wine, you know, so.
Or having them together, chocolate and red wine. That's the best. Okay, good. And then, okay. And for our listeners, they're like, okay, we've gotten a lot of information here. What is the number one needle mover that you can tell them, okay, today you're just going to start with this first step? Your number one needle mover, first step.
It's food. I mean, the food you choose is going to have the biggest impact on how you feel. You know, so if you eat the wrong food, you don't feel like working out, you don't feel like proactively manage your stress. You know, so when you feel great because you got the right fuel, everything else I think is easier. So, you know, one of the things my patients have always said to me, and my readers in my book say to me, is I forgot how great I could feel. Because they've been dwindling for so long, we're talking years and decades, that they're used to feeling mediocre at best. And it's like, I can't tell you how many times someone says, thank you for giving me my life back. I forgot how great I could feel. That's really what makes, to me, it all worthwhile. It's that giving someone the tools to transform their life, to feel better and save their life at the same time. And so the way their family, friends, their coworkers, they can all tell. It's obvious. Wow, what happened to you? That's what makes it worthwhile to me. And that's what I like. That's the sensation I'm looking for, is that people just say, wow.
Yeah, and this is the difference too in your philosophy. What we do, it's a long-term win. It's not the short-term weight loss. It's not the short-term, you know, result. It's the long-term result, long-term improvements, the quality of life improvements, and the energy that we bring home to ourselves, our families, our relationships, and how meaningful is that?
Absolutely. That's what it's all about.
Thank you for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel here and get those notifications, and comment below. Let me know your thoughts, what you loved, and what your action step is.